Hello, what is up again, students? This is me again, teacher Remel, your teacher for this session. So for today's vlog, students, so I'm gonna sharing you guys our lesson for week 3 and 4. So you find it first here in our my files here. Okay, there you go. So, self-learning kit English, so we're good for quarter 1, week 3 and 4. So, let me show you guys the run-through of this module or the self-learning kit. So, for you to be able to understand well about the lesson. Okay, so let's go back directly if there are sudden things might happen in the process. But anyways, let's proceed. Okay, wait. So for our lesson for this week, so we have modal verbs. You can see it. So for learning competency, students are expected to express permission, obligation, and prohibition using modals. So first is, you're gonna need to answer, I have known. But I guess you are doubtful about modal verbs. For some will ask, what is modal verb? What are modal verbs? So in this lesson, you will know its definition, its usage, and how you are going to make a sentence using modal verbs. So particularly, as based in our competency, you are expected to express permission, obligation, prohibition using modals. Okay. So for items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, until 15, so you're gonna need to answer this pretest. All you gotta do is to encircle the letter of your choice. Okay, next. Okay. So of course, here in I Can Connect, you're gonna need to focus on these questions. First, how important is a family to you? So you have to explain in 3 sentences, I guess. No, that would be fine. Or you can have 1 sentence as long as your explanation is good. So family, importance of family. Next, how is your current situation amidst this pandemic? Therefore, you're going to need to explain your situation now while we are suffering from pandemic. Third, what makes a family secure during this time of pandemic? So this means, so how is your family? What are the things that makes morning, Ma'am Son, that makes your family secure during this time of pandemic? So what is your assurance that your family is secured? Okay, got it? So here in I Can Learn, these are the lessons that you are expected to learn. For lesson 1, ensuring family security. So please read all throughout this article below. Okay, there you go. So it has, so students, let me proceed. So again, in this part, in I Can Learn part, it's actually the first lesson that you will be learning. So try to look at the picture shown. So as you can see, there is a caption there, family values, family goals. So you can expect that this article is about family, right? So what we're going to do is read all throughout the article about family. And then, once you are done, there are questions to follow. First, what are the three things that you have found from the text? So it's not actually a thing that you know, it's actually something that is found in the text. Second, upon reading the text, what two interesting things that you have discovered from it? So what have you discovered upon reading the text, upon reading the article? Third, what would be a question that you would want to ask related to a text, to the text itself? So for the third one, if you are given the chance, what will be the question that you would want to ask? Okay? Right after that, you're going to need to proceed to now item number 4. What particular issue that you have discovered? So we're talking about issue itself. Take note, the security and protection of an individual and of the family is one of the most important aspects of life. So always remember that. Safety and security, and of course, protection. So observe the underlined words. Should, must, should, must. So they're actually the same. Two pair of words, the same. The should and the must. Okay? Question. What do we call those underlined words in the text? The should and the must. What do they express? Here comes your answer. For lesson 2, here is now the main lesson, which is the modal verbs, should and the must. Okay. When you say modal, it is called as modal verbs, modal auxiliary verbs, modal auxiliaries. These are special verbs which behave irregularly in English. They are different from normal verbs like work, play. They're different from regular and irregular verbs. Why? Because they have a great variety of communicative functions, just like the must and the should. They're both modal verbs. Try to observe the sentences that I'll be uttering. You should go. So take note. I use should. I can also say you must go. Okay? Do these sentences behave the same meaning, or do they have different meaning? If your answer is yes, you got it right. Why? Must and should have different functions. Although I use it in a sentence, but the function speaks of. Alright, so try to read all these things all throughout. So, example here. So this is going to be the part 1 for our lesson for this week. Anyway, this lesson is good for 2 weeks. Okay. In here, should express 50% obligation. Therefore, you use should if you are obliged. Example, I should see a doctor. I have a terrible headache. Expresses also an advice. Example, you should revise your lesson. You can never say you must, because should express advice. It is a different story then. Should expresses logical conclusion. Example, he should be very tired. He's been working all day long. What have you noticed? You conclude already. Also remember, should expresses obligation. 50% obligation. Second, when you conclude. Third, when you give advice. However, it's a different story when you say must. Must expresses strong obligation. If you use should as 50% obligation, you use must as a strong obligation. Example, you must stop when the traffic lights turn red. Why? It's a traffic light, student. If it's red, it means stop. It's a strong obligation. Otherwise, you will be penalized by law. Second, expresses logical conclusion. It's a certainty. Sir, what's the difference in the should above that expresses logical conclusion? So let's take an example in the must. He must be very tired. Ay, Mom! Okay, there you go. Let's proceed. Okay. Wait. Alright. So again, what's the difference? He must be very tired. He's been working all day long. So in here, you are certain, when you say certain, you are sure that the person you are talking is very tired. Now that is why, that is because he's been working all day long. That makes him tired. Whereas in the above video presentation that I have mentioned, you use a should for the logical conclusion. He should be very tired. He's been working all day long. You are concluding. There is no certainty at all. Okay? So I hope you guys, you've learned something, just a little bit about the difference of must and should and how you're going to use must and should. So for our next video, you expect that I'll be teaching you through this about modal verbs using has, have to, and need to. Stay tuned. This is Teacher Rimel Kapuyan, your English for this session. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Adios.